All right, well, we are down to the wire. It's a couple days before I leave for Kentucky with Matt, and I got to get all my stuff ready. Unfortunately, I left my wrapped run and gun setup in the woods last fall, and I just haven't been back to get it, and it's 2 hours from home. So what I'm doing today is something I really shouldn't have to be doing if I would have just went and pulled my darn stand, but unfortunately I didn't. So what I'm doing right now is I'm silencing all of my equipment that I'm going to be using for my run and gun set this week in Kentucky. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm wrapping my climbing sticks with a set of stealth strips. If you guys don't know what stealth strips are, they're an adhesive backed kind of a felt type material that are specifically made to fit a set of Lone Wolf climbing sticks. So this is in the True Timber Strata camo. I think it looks pretty nice. Picked up a set of this from the guys when I was up at Deer Fest here a couple weeks ago. So there's a couple different ways to apply this to your sticks. For me, I'm kind of anal and I have a little bit of extra time today. So what I'm doing is I'm actually breaking down these sticks, taking all the hardware off of them, wrapping them, and then putting the hardware back on. You don't necessarily need to do that if you are in a hurry or just don't feel like messing with it quite as much. You can cut those so that they just fit basically in between the step and the Versa button and then in between each step. And that'll get you 85% of the way there. But for me, kind of anal about my gear. And like I said, I have a little bit of time today. So I did this one last night, completely broke down the step, took the opportunity to clean all the dirt and mud off of it as well so that the stealth strip sticks nicely on there. So that's the first thing that I'm going to be doing today. If you guys are ever going to do this, it's very simple to do. Just takes a little bit of time, hour and a half to get it all done right. I've got a driver with a 7/16 bit in it, 7/16 wrench, set of Allen keys, and a razor blade. The razor blade is used to notch out these little areas right here where the sticks actually nest together. They will nest together even if you don't notch this out, but they're a little tight for my preference, so I do like to cut that area out. So I'm gonna wrap my sticks first, then I'm gonna show you what I'm doing to the buckles on my straps to silent those down, and then we're gonna take a look at the stand last, and hopefully I'll have everything ready to go for some run and gun hunting in Kentucky this week. All right, well, we've got our sticks all wrapped up. As you can see, they nest in together nicely, just the way they did right out of the box. So we've got 4 sticks. You know, most of the time I am using 4 to get up 18 to 20 feet. Sometimes I'll go with 3. If I'm going on a really long hike and I'm just trying to look for ways to cut weight, I'll go with 3 sticks. I can still get 14 to 16 feet with a set of 3 sticks, which is plenty high in most cases. So, but for now, I've got a set of 4 sticks. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these little covers sold by the same company that makes the stealth strips, and I'm actually going to cover the buckles. And these are made specifically as buckle covers. And the nice thing about this is, yeah, there's a lot of metal on these sticks that's exposed, but there's nothing that makes more noise than the dang buckles, because these things are swinging around, they're clanking into each other as you're walking in or as you're trying to hang or take your set down at the end of the night. So this is a big bonus, is covering your buckles. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, well, our sticks are done, which means we just got to worry about the stand. And there's going to be 3 very simple things that I'm going to look at on the stand. Number 1 is going to be the cables. You know, the cables by themselves don't make a ton of noise, but they are rubber coated. And if you're wearing rubber boots, like a lot of us are, the rubber on rubber, sometimes you'll get a squeak or something like that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap these with the same material that we used on the sticks. The second thing I'm going to be wrapping is going to be the built-in bow holder, which is going to be shaped like a wolf head here. So this little knob right here actually fits through your cam, and then your lower limbs are going to rest on the platform. Obviously, we don't want our limbs contacting the metal platform for 2 reasons. Number 1, we don't want to scratch our bow, but number 2, we don't want to make any noise when we're putting the bow into or taking it out of the bow holder. So I'm going to wrap kind of the bottom of this wolf's head right here. And then the third, and in my opinion, the most important thing that we're going to do is we're going to wrap the front of this platform right here, because when these stands are folded down, you're going to get some metal to metal contact between the platform and the seat here. So you can hear that. And if you've ever been carrying one of these things on your back through the woods and you've heard clink, 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 clink every time you take a step, that's why. So those are the 3 things that we're gonna do on the stand, and then we're gonna call this one good. So I'm gonna hurry up and get to it, and we'll see how this thing turns out. All right, well, we've got our tree stand all silenced. It's ready to go. Got our sticks all silenced. They're ready to go, finally. It's been a long day. So last thing I'm gonna do is get this thing all secured nice and tight and show you how I'm gonna pack it in the woods. You know, I did throw a set of backpack straps on here, just the stock Lone Wolf straps, nothing fancy. So the way that I like to carry this out into the woods is, again, I'm gonna use these quick straps, which you can get from Lone Wolf. They're just a rubber strap, and they hold everything just so much tighter than a strap with like a cam buckle that you gotta really pull on. Having the elasticity in this rubber is a major plus. So I'm gonna take my sticks, and I'm actually gonna stack them sideways right on top of here, because I like to maintain a little bit of a lower profile. I'm gonna try to get them seated as tightly on here as possible. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use 2 quick straps. I can get away with 1 if I needed to, but I prefer to use 2. I've got mine pre-adjusted for the right tension that I like to keep on there, and I'm gonna go through the platform, around the seat post, and around the stick. So it's gonna take everything and really smush it together nice and tight. So I'm just gonna put 1 there, another one here towards the back, and at this point, I'm done. Everything is ready to go. If I'm gonna pack anything else in, a jacket or my safety harness when it's really, really hot like this, like it's gonna be, I don't like to wear my safety harness in and get any sweatier than I have to. So I'm gonna take my safety harness. I'll be wearing the Hunter Safety System. This is a hybrid harness, so I'll be taking this. I could do 1 of 2 things. I can either put it right on top of the sticks, or I could put it to the side. I personally like putting it to the side. You want to make sure that your metal buckles on your harness aren't clanging into anything on the walk in, and then I just use standard set of bungee cords. You can pick these up anywhere. If I need to get them a little bit tighter, I can put a couple knots in them. For what we're doing here, I think I'm going to need to, because these are a little loose. So I'm going to go 1 over to this side. We're going to take a second one, do the same thing, knot it up a little bit just to shorten it up. We're going to go number 2 over to there, and at this point I am ready to go. I'd probably pay a little bit closer attention to the buckles if I was actually going into the woods right now, but for all intents and purposes, this thing is ready to go. You can see how compact it is, and that's it. So I'm going to finish getting the rest of my stuff ready, and next time you see me, I will be headed to Kentucky. Never mind the neighbor's dogs barking in the backyard. So I'm going to finish getting my stuff ready and hope to have some luck next week in Kentucky.